And we're live here at the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal.
That would make me terrible, Troy.
I'm Treacherous, Trista.
And I'm Justin Beheading.
Exactly.
Nice,
Here.
nice.
Yeah, so it's very cool to have everyone back together here for 2022.
I know, it's like the family reunion. I'm digging it.
So we're going to kick it off with the best or our favorites of 2021 in horror.
I'm glad you kind of specified that, because I don't know if all of mine are actually the best, but
I thought you were going to say, I thought you were going with maybe not all were horror, because I had put some to honorable mention because I'm not sure if they're horror, and I'm not a stickler for genre, but I still don't think they quite make horror.
Well, not all of mine are necessarily theatrical release movies.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
Some things just blew my mind.
Were these just like pictures you drew or stuff?
Yes,
you
yes. This was a drawing I did earlier this year, and it made my list because I hadn't seen 13 movies. So
fair enough. Yeah. Before we get live, I was talking to Justin. I caught up on some too, but Justin, when I told him we were doing the show, I guess it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, he went and started to research and watch movies that he didn't see.
Yeah, there was about 4 movies that I had seen in theaters or elsewhere that I managed to be able to put on the list beforehand, and then there were at least 2 I saw before the end of the year, like before end of 2021, and then the rest were all just around New Year's weekend.
I was good this year. I kept a notepad, and every time I really liked the movie, I wrote it down.
so you were smart. I had to look at movies that came out this year.
I go and
say,
that was my favorite, and I'll look it up, and it came out 5 years ago.
Yeah, same here.
So let's, all this nonsense aside, we'll start with number 13. We'll start with Trista as usual. We'll keep the tradition alive.
Thanks, guys. I'm very distracted by my cat is getting into mischief, so
all right.
don't think
Very
unusual
unusual.
if I'm looking over there.
Good old
By the way, while you were away, I think almost every show had a cat appearance.
Yes.
Oh, yep. I missed so much.
Oh.
I'm sure Justin's cats will show up soon.
They will probably.
My 13 is Puppet Killer. I loved Puppet Killer. I think it's so funny.
I did too, and it's on my honorable mention just because I'm not exactly sure the actual release date. But I wanted to put it in my, if it qualifies, it's also in my list.
I think it had limited theatrical this year.
Yeah. That's when we talked about on the show. So, but yeah, I love that movie. It's weird with the festivals because then I get all mixed up because sometimes you'll see it a couple of years before.
Oh yeah,
but excellent choice, and I highly recommend. I know I think it's still hard to find, but whenever it's available, it's such a fun movie. Excellent choice. 13 for the terrible
one. 13, it was earlier this year, and Neal and I went to see it. It's Spiral from
Soho series.
Yes, that's it. Exactly. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. Thought it was pretty decent.
I liked it too. I know a lot of people really disliked it, but I thought it was pretty good. I think because I'm not the world's biggest Saw fan to begin.
Yeah, neither am I. So that's probably, to be fair,
Yeah.
I thought Chris Rock was good in it. I enjoyed it.
I liked it too. It didn't make my list, but I liked it. It didn't make my 13 worst movies.
That's good.
Is that next week?
Justin.
Alrighty, so my number 13 is called The Manor. It's from Blumhouse. It ended up on Amazon Prime, and it's a movie that it intrigued me enough because it's just basically about this. What is it? Barbara Hershey is this 70-year-old woman, used to be a dancer, who has a stroke and ends up in this old folks' home called the Manor. And she gets to meet up with a lot of character actors and such, like Bruce Davison is one of them. And
it's a great cast.
Yeah, it is, and it's and strange goings on at this manor, and then of course I'm not going to say what happens, but it does build to something pretty crazy and interesting. And it did intrigue me. I don't think it was one of the best movies I saw this year, but it was one that definitely stuck out to me enough to make the list. And I mean, Barbara Hershey knocks it out of the park in the movie, so that helps.
She was great in it. Yeah.
Great ending. Very surprise ending.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now that was the what is it? Enter the Bloom House or whatever that series was.
I think it was part of that. Something happened. It was Blumhouse, basically.
Yeah, but it was some kind of series they did for Amazon.
Into the Dark, that's what it was. I think.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah.
Look it up. Yeah. We don't know. Number 13. By the way, hello, Mike B. My number 13, I think it might not have been the first, but one of the first movies I went to see when I started going back to Boston, and that was Werewolves Within. And it's definitely more of a comedy than a horror movie, but it's a very fun movie. It's a lot of twists. It's kind of like set up like a mystery, kind of like a murder mystery, like a very old school murder mystery. And maybe it has werewolves, maybe it doesn't. I won't spoil the movie, but it's just a fun time, and I would recommend it. Number 12.
My 12 is Killer Concept. I love those guys. I think they're really smart and funny.
That's an excellent choice. I did not. I forgot about that. But I always look forward to their films. Another one to seek out.
No doubt.
Number 12 for the terrible one.
My number 12, strangely enough, has already been mentioned because it is The Manor.
Nice.
And yeah, I don't really have too much to add to it. I really enjoyed it. I thought some of it was a little goofy, but it was fine. I really liked it. Not really anything else to add except for Barbara Hershey was great in it.
The Dirty Dozen for beheading.
So my number 12 is another one that was also just mentioned recently, Werewolf Within. Not much more I can add to it. It was a very enjoyable, just kind of, a movie you can watch on a late night, cold nights with a cup of tea or...
It's kind of a lighthearted movie.
Yeah.
But also has some social commentaries.
Yeah. And it was kind of nice seeing a turn from the AT&T girl. I don't know the actress's name. Yeah. She worked out really well in her first movie. And her being also kind of a crush on mine, it was also nice to see her in a movie, just period.
Well, there you go. Very nice. It was nice. Some nice twists near the end. And very likable characters.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
My number 12, which might be really high on other people's list, is The Night House, which I really liked. I saw it at the theater. I had some issues with it, but overall, it's a very good movie. Now, I've seen it pop up on a lot of people's lists very high, so it might be higher on some of our fellow people's lists, but I dug it. Number 11.
My 11 is Blood Red Sky. Have you guys seen that?
I've not seen it.
Not heard of it.
I've seen the trailer.
It's a German film. It's on Netflix, so you can catch it.
Oh,
I recommend it. I think you'll like it. I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, it is. It's always, obviously talk about the movies, but I always think it's best if you can go into a movie without knowing much about it.
Yeah, that's sometimes 100%. A real treat.
So just know that Trista recommends it. That's all you need.
Yep, that's good enough.
Good for me. Might have to get Netflix for that.
Justin and I have tea tonight, by the way.
Very nice.
Cheers.
Oh, I'm out. I'm kicked to the curb. I got the Gatorade.
Gatorade, did you say?
Yep.
Oh man.
All right. My number 11.
Yeah.
The gin, which I dug. I thought the gin itself looked really cool. And,
I thought that's what you were drinking.
No. This is the gin straight up, just like a genie, not too much. I don't know. I'm a sucker for like I think more movies should have evil Jen in them. That's what I
I
think.
agree. We have was it the Wishmaster? And then it's nothing for years.
Yeah, for decades, and then boom. So I was happy to see this one.
Yeah,
It's
you could
nothing
skip over the
spectacular.
Aladdin.
It's fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I think it's on. It might be on Netflix as well.
So many streaming sites, a lot of cool stuff on all of them.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
A lot of crap on some of them too.
Yep. Very true.
Which is it is difficult sometimes because you'll see like, oh, this looks cool, but then you start watching and you're like, no, it's not cool. So at number 11.
So my number 11 is Till Death. It's a movie where Megan Fox is married to a businessman. They go off to this cabin to celebrate their honeymoon. I think it's like their 10-year, and the husband knows that she's been cheating on him. So he decides while she's asleep to handcuff themselves to each other, and then he blows his brains out. And the whole movie is about her trying to get out of this cabin while also having to drag around the dead body of her husband.
Oh,
That took a dark turn when you
yeah.
No, it's a really good movie. I heard about it through a movie reviewer on YouTube, and I was always kind of curious about it. I will say, even still 10 plus years later, I'm still going to be a little harsh on Megan Fox as an actress, but she's improved from not being in Michael Bay movies where she's stuck doing just one thing.
Uh-huh.
She shows that she can do a little more. She's not great, but she can work. She can do stuff. She can act. She sells the movie enough, so I'll say that.
Very good.
And it gets very suspenseful near the middle portion when more twists and turns start to pop up. It's really good. I recommend it.
Very cool. This is what I saw when I was searching stuff that I haven't seen. I will admit I did not watch it, but since Justin recommended it, I'll check it out.
There you
My
go.
number 11 was a movie I really wasn't going to watch. I watched it when it came out, though. I wasn't going to watch it because I thought, why would they remake this movie? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll be fine. But I saw these people talk about how good it was. So I was like, I'm going to check it out. And that's the Slumber Party Massacre remake.
Wow.
And it's a very clever movie. I would highly recommend it. It's not what you expect when you go into it. They really have fun with the genre and a lot of big, again, a lot of twists and kind of plays around with the slasher genre. And it's really not the movie you think it's going to be. Especially if you pay attention to the runtime, because you think this is the end of the movie, then it's 42 minutes in, so it's probably not the end of the movie. So anyway, really different movie than you expect. Slumber Party Massacre. I recommend it.
I'd have to check that one out then. Is that I did the same thing. I was like, nah, I don't think I'll be watching that one.
It's good.
I'll have to check that out. And I'm sad to say, the original. It's one of the few slasher movies I've yet to see.
Oh, really? Interesting. Driller Killer. All right. I think that was one of the big ones that Cisco and Ebert were always against because of the
Probably.
cover. It's very suggestive. Number 10.
My 10 is The Columnist. So that's a Dutch film. I think, I'm not sure where you can get it, but it's pretty accessible. So I recommend it. Nobody's seen the same movies as I have.
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's introducing us to stuff.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of goofballs, but you're out there watching the good stuff. But it's good. It brings all different perspectives here.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely.
Oh, I'll have to look into that.
We'll come back next week and say we're cutting all these off. And we're adding these other ones back.
Yeah. We have a renewed list and none of this crap's on it.
Redux. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. All right. My number 10. My number 10 is a movie that's actually, I guess, was made before any of you three were born, but then
I know where this is going.
got remade or finally released.
I think finally finished.
Finally finished, maybe. And it's Amusement Park.
Ooh.
Which the big thing was because it was a Romero flick. Not the best Romero flick I've ever seen. It's worth watching. It's I think the build up was too much. I was expecting a different movie. It's good. It's got some really interesting elements to it. It's worth a watch.
I think just the idea of it, that it's finally available, is very cool.
Yeah, since like 1975, I guess, is when he was making it.
Yeah,
what were you saying, Justin? Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say that I don't even know if I can say I can enjoy that one, but that's one that actually did disturb me when I saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
It's just, old people getting treated badly, and then eventually you get the old man from Martin getting beaten up by a biker gang. It's just like, wow, okay.
It's an uncomfortable movie. It's
very.
True. Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out. That sold me on it.
Old man
abuse to the elderly. It's always a
right at my house. Number 10, Justin.
My number 10 is I don't know if I'm gonna say the title right. Titane. I loved I also don't know if I'm gonna say her name correctly, so forgive me, director. Julie DeCarno. I saw her previous film, Raw, loved it. So I had to give this one a shot, obviously. And no, I really dug just how weird and surreal it was, with a woman getting impregnated by her car and slowly progressing with this, what looks like is going to be a car inside of her. It's such a trip.
Yeah, I saw it at the theater. I'll just leave it at that. I'll say I will not. But no, most people loved it. I will say it's really great performances, and very strange performances. Some great dance numbers. It's a very bizarre film.
I didn't expect that last bit. That was.
Let's see. My number 10 is Jacob's Wife, and it's a lot of former guests on the show: Barbara Crampton, Larry Fessenden. Well, I love both of them. So a fun vampire movie. It was just a fun, very gory, but it's like a fun gore, and a great performance by Bonnie Aarons, and pro wrestler CM Punk is in it too, who I actually think is a pretty good actor. He was in I forget the movie he did a few years ago. I saw it Boston Underground Film Festival, but he's back into wrestling, so he's probably not going to act anymore. But it's a fun movie and great performances. Larry Fessenden's always one of my favorites, and so is Barbara Crampton. All right, number 9.
My 9 is The Trip. So that's a Norwegian horror comedy, but I think you can catch it on Netflix. It's really good. I think you'd like it.
Very cool.
Nice.
I feel dumb. International.
No, I feel dumb. I'm watching the most obscure.
No, I think that's awesome. Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, that is a good thing.
Like outshining us for sure.
Number 9 is Neal's number 10, Jacob's Wife, and I loved all the makeup stuff in it. I thought was great too.
Yeah.
Like the look on Barbara Crampton when she's got like the fangs and everything. Like just a cool movie. I liked it.
Yeah, it's very much Nosferatu vampire.
Yeah,
which I prefer. Yep. And Bonnie Aarons, if people don't know by the name, who plays a nun, she's very cool in the movie.
Yep.
All right. Not to give away some of the movies, but she posted pictures on her Facebook.
Yeah, I think it should be okay.
Number 9.
My number 9 is a movie that's on Shudder, Sun, which I actually watched on New Year's Eve, and it's this woman who plays the granddaughter of Laurie Strode in the new Halloween movies. She was part of a cult and escapes with her baby. And over the next 5 years, raising him and everything, these strange things start to happen to her son. Starts developing a craving for human flesh, and it's about her basically having to get away from this cult, running from this cult, while also trying to keep her son from going hungry. which also means having to kill some people here and there to do that. So it's and in fact, thinking about it now, it's very similar to another movie on my list. So
very interesting. All right. My number 9, maybe some horror fans will yell at me because it seemed like it was pretty universally hated. But that was Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I went to see it thinking I wouldn't like it because I'm not a fan of the other ones. And I thought it was very fun. It's just a fun monster movie, a lot of cool effects. And I just had a good time. I've never played any Resident Evil games. So I have no idea if it's like the game, if it's anything to do with the games or not. But as a movie, I thought it was a good time. I was going to have it lower on my list just because I thought I'd lose like cred with horror people.
Your street cred's ruined.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It's not just zombies, it's big, crazy monsters and stuff. And a great performance by the guy who plays the sheriff. I will say otherwise, maybe the performances aren't the best, but the guy who plays the sheriff is cool. The old guy. I don't know his name, but he plays he's in what's the Batman show when he's a young Batman? When he's a kid.
Oh,
Batman Beyond.
Or
about a young Commissioner Gordon. Gotham,
yeah.
He plays Commissioner Gordon's partner. I think he turns on.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, people know who I'm talking about, probably. Or maybe not. Who knows? But number 8.
My 8 is Coming Home in the Dark. So that's a film out of New Zealand, but it's available on Netflix as well. And I think you guys would like it.
All right, very cool. That is a good another good thing about streaming, because a lot of these movies years ago we probably wouldn't be able to see because but with all these streaming sites, a lot of stuff's available.
Very true.
From different countries. Terrible one.
Oh, my number 8 is VHS 94, which is the most recent of like the VHS series, which not everybody loves. Nasty Neal. But but I've enjoyed them all, and this one I enjoyed a great deal. It's been a few years since the last one, and so it's a bunch of like vignettes. It's these ones they're all pretty dark, pretty good. Highly recommend it. I think it was on Shudder. I think that's where I found it.
Yeah, it's either Shudder or Netflix, I think. Number 8 for Justin.
So my number 8 is the Advent Calendar, which I also found because of Shudder, and I also, basically, I would not have heard about this movie had I not gone to the convention Seasons Screamings in December, where there was a panel where these people were talking about different Christmas horror movies, and they happened to mention a couple of recent ones, and this was one that they mentioned, and it was not long after Neal had told me about doing the list that I was like, there we go.
I'll look into that one.
Yeah, and it's about a paraplegic woman who is given an advent calendar by a friend of hers, and upon opening the first door for the advent calendar, it basically unlocks this demon that now basically she has to eat every single thing in the calendar every day, otherwise this demon's going to come out and kill her, basically. And it's a very good, creative, suspenseful French horror movie. I really loved it. Kind of wish I'd seen it during Christmas time.
Yeah, I know our reviewer, Diablo Joe, gave it a really good review on the website. My number 8, Troy called me out for not liking these movies. Because I don't like these movies, but I actually like VHS 94.
Oh, okay, excellent.
I went in
we have a changed deal now. This is good.
I actually watched this last night. It was one of the last ones that I had written down. I was like, I'm going to try to check. I was last couple of weeks trying to check out some movies I didn't see. And I was like, I'll save that one for last because, God, these stupid VHS movies. And no, it was very cool. Super gory. And it's actually pretty scary. I think the Rat Man one was.
I love that one. Yep.
Cool.
That was my favorite like episode of it.
Yeah, it's really good. I dig it.
I'll have to watch it because I know it's on Shudder. Last I checked.
Yeah, it was on one of the streaming sites, either Shudder or Netflix. So yeah, it's probably Shudder. You're probably right. Number 7, Lucky 7.
I went with My Heart Can't Beat Unless You Tell It to. Which I think you guys would enjoy. Yeah.
Well, I hope you said I picked this one, but I think everyone else will hate it. I like the name. I thought you were just
not just making up titles.
It's like not one of these movies are real movies.
Let's go to Google on that one.
Yes.
It's like
She's
a challenge.
I just wanted
with
to
travel.
see if anybody was going to call me out on these. That's like one of those places where if you order a burger, they give it like the goofiest name possible, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll take the sex in the back seat of the Lincoln, please."
That was Bobby Burns' pub. It was me and Troy used to go there all the time. It's not far from here. And then one time the new owners and they renamed everything, all these stupid names, and Troy just like, just give me the potato skins. They renamed it something really stupid.
Yeah, do you mean the happy Irishman dancing through the forest? Like, no, it's just the potato skins. What I want.
It's like whenever I go to Starbucks and I just go, "What do you call black coffee?"
Yeah, yeah.
Black coffee. Okay, good. I want that. And I want it.
You want it? You want Pike's Place, or do you want the Vernon?
And I just have to tell them, I just want it black.
Yeah.
And I want it
extra
large.
black. That's what I say.
And I want it large. Oh, you mean venti? Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you call.
That's
large,
not even a real
give me that.
word. So stop it. Why is a tall small? That makes no sense.
So then you don't feel like you're getting something very small.
No, true. All right. So my number 7 might be Trista inspired, because this is something that I hadn't seen till recently, and one of the most original movies that I've seen. It's Deep House, and it's from France. And if you ever wanted like a found footage type movie, but it's probably 80% underwater. It's an underwater haunted house, and just really clever. I thought really original. Can't recommend it highly enough. I really dug it.
That sounds very cool.
So Deep House. If can't remember where the hell I found it. It was something strange like Tubi. It wasn't even on the normal streaming things.
A lot of cool stuff on there. All right, number 7 for Justin.
My number 7 is Jacob's Wife. And this was a movie that I was so anxious to watch that I actually rented it off of YouTube. I think it was a full month before it was announced that it was going to be going on Shudder. Or at least I had already known it was going on Shudder, but I decided I can't wait that long. I need to watch it now. And I loved it. It was fun. As Neal said before, I can't really add much on to that other than Robert Crampton can still kick ass in the movie. It's great. She still gives a great performance and everything. Still works great. So, and she's a very nice lady to meet in person as well.
Oh, without a doubt.
Definitely agree. Very nice. And it's very cool because it's more so now, but it used to be female actors, once they get a certain age, they wouldn't be in stuff. But it's cool. She works a lot and in a lot of very cool movies, and still, still the headline in a lot of movies.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Especially in this case.
Yep.
Let's see, number 7, Plague a Zombie, American Invasion. This is very low budget, but it's super fun, and everyone in it, you could tell, are having a good time, and it really comes through the movie. It's ridiculous. There's bright yellow and blue zombies, and it's very silly. And I didn't know this before watching it, but it's like I think the 4th one in a series. The other ones are I think Brazilian. They're also low budget. They have like a cult following zombie films. And then I had the people on. They made it. I think they're in Boston or New Bedford, actually, here in Massachusetts, and they were just talking to people who made it like online, and they gave them the okay to make a fourth one. And it's a ridiculous movie, and I highly recommend it. It's very fun, and it adds to it. They showed it. I wish I would have went to it. They showed it at an old church. And apparently, like one of the old women there who runs a church set up the showing, and I was like, I just can't imagine this old woman watching this very bizarre, this old nice church lady watching this bizarre zombie movie with like penises being bitten off and stuff. But apparently, she was into it, so it adds cool factor to me. But it's very ridiculous and fun.
I'll have to look into that one then.
Yeah, I don't know if it's available anywhere, but
all right.
Number 6.
I went with Surge, which is it's an English film, but the acting is really incredible, and I think you guys would like it.
Very cool.
All right.
We will check it out.
I know. I'm gonna have a huge list after this
We're
episode.
gonna do a whole show
check 'em
just
out.
where
Yeah.
we all watch Trista's movies.
All right, mine number 6 is a Korean flick. It's The Medium, which I really thought was cool. It a lot of good like spooks, a lot of what do you call them? The jump scares, but then like the story's really nice. Really good acting, I thought, and like a real feeling of the ending will grab everybody. Like if you guys haven't seen it, like it doesn't end the way I expected it to. I'll just put it that way.
Well, I will check this out. Number 6 for the beheading one.
My number 6 is Psycho Gorman from the folks at or some of the folks at Astron 6. And I kind of regret not going to see this movie at the drive-in when they were showing it, because it seems like
would have been a good drive-in movie.
Yeah, that would have been a
would've
fun drive-in flick.
Yeah, no, just retro style, gory alien that, God, some of the effects are just fantastic in that movie.
And it's all practical or mostly practical.
Yeah, it's like some of the head explosions. Oh God, it's just so great.
Yeah, it's just a fun time. I'm trying to think of we had him on the show a few times, the director, because like you said, I think it's just one of the guys from Astron 6, or actually a couple of them might be in the movie too. Like
Adam Brooks is in it, but then one of the other guys, I think, definitely one of the ones that did the editor is the director, I think.
Yeah, big fan of Astron 6. People don't know. It's kind of like a setup. It's kind of like E.T. if E.T. was like an interdimensional demon.
Yep. That pretty much sums it up too. You're right.
Yeah.
E.T. or another interesting comparison, Starman, which I just saw recently for the first time.
Oh, really?
Oh, I love me some Starman. Yep.
Yeah. I haven't seen it for a long time, but I was like, all right, the excellent choice. Number 6, Hellbender, made by a very cool filmmaking family, Toby Poser, Zelda Adams, and John Adams. And not just because they're cool and they come on the show. I really love this movie. It was Zelda's great in it. She's their daughter. And I thought it was a great folk horror movie. Folk horror is kind of making a comeback. It's kind of cool again, which I'm good with. And I would highly recommend it. Good performance, great performances, and just a very cool looking movie by good people. So number 5.
I agree. I love that movie.
Very good. Thanks.
My 5. Have you guys seen Benedetta?
No.
Okay, it's so. I don't think it's supposed to be a comedy, but
that's a running theme with Trista.
Yeah, it's one of the funniest films I've ever seen. It's the guy that did Showgirls, but this movie takes place in a 7th century convent. So it's like Showgirls in a convent with a horror twist. And
I'm
sold.
I highly recommend the film. It is so funny.
This sounds like a midnight movie or something. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, if it's Paul Verhoeven, I'm on board.
Yeah, you have to see it. It's ridiculous.
I
and
just wrote
love
it down because I'm interested
Yeah.
in seeing this now. That one you definitely sold me on.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured you guys would be in for that one.
Annabelle's trying to get me to see Cats tomorrow. They're showing it midnight movie, but I don't think I'm going to. The musical. Let's see. Number 5, Troy.
Number 5. This was one of those that we had to seek out to go and see, and I was all excited, and it lived up to what I was hoping for, and it was Willy's Wonderland, which I just
That was
loved.
the first movie we went back to at the theater.
Yeah, yep. We had to track it down. We had to find it, and then
and that theater's closed now, apparently.
Yeah, that bummed me out too, because they used to show like all the kind of subground movies, and but yeah, just looking for some crazy Nick Cage, and you don't want him talking. This is the movie for you.
It's a crazy movie.
Yep.
He's made some crazy movies last few years. Which
I have some great ones too, with like Pig and stuff.
Yeah, I have it in my honorable mention because it's really not a horror movie, but it's a very bizarre film. Number 5.
So number 5 is a movie that I have been waiting, I'd say about 2 years to see upon its announcement. And I loved every second of it, especially the audience reaction afterwards. Malignant. It's because I've never seen a movie where audiences were so split, where the movie was done and you had this chunk of audience over here clapping and cheering. And as I'm walking out, 2 people in front of me are just talking to each other. And one guy says, "That movie was terrible." But I loved every second of that gonzo movie. Just starts out dark, and weird, like a James Wan movie. But then it also has these campy moments. And it's just... And then it has a rendition of the Pixies' "Where's My Mind" as the score that gets stuck in your head. It's been stuck in my head since last September. It's a movie I regret not seeing more than once in a theater.
Well, very strange here. My number 5 is also Malignant for many of the same reasons.
Zoom fist bump.
Yeah, I loved watching this in the theater because of the theater experience really added to it, because you had people that were like you said, they absolutely hated the movie. I'm watching it thinking this is just this batshit crazy like 80s exploitation movie I would have rented on VHS tape, but it's presented as a mainstream movie, which to me just really adds to the film. I think a lot of people who don't like it actually, if it would have been a lower budget movie in the 80s on VHS, they would have liked it. But it's I did see it twice. I saw it myself, and it was just a wild experience. And then when we started doing dinner and a movie again, Annabelle and I was like, I have a perfect movie for the first episode, and so we went and saw Malignant. I was like, don't watch the trailers. Don't know anything about it. Just go in and watch it. And yeah, it's so crazy. There's, like I said, it starts off like a typical James Wan movie, which I'm actually not a big fan of a lot of those movies. Yeah. And then it totally is just, it's not even like I can necessarily say it's like a good movie, but it's a very
bad movie either.
Yes. The performances are so over the top. Once you get to the prison scene on, it's just...
Oh, yeah. And the cop scene after it. And I will say this, even though the other one wasn't directed by James Wan, it made up for I don't even know whether to call it a travesty, but just the conundrum that was Conjuring 3. I was not happy with Conjuring 3.
I'm not. I know Troy.
I'm not a fan of those movies.
Disagree. I'm not a big fan of them anyway. But yeah. But also Troy James, former guest on the show, which we both love. Trista and I. He plays the monster in Malignant.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
which he's going to
All right,
come
I'm gonna
back on the
have to
show and
watch
talk
that
about when
movie
he's able to. He wasn't able to do it for a while because of his contract, but he's going to come back here in 2022 and talk about it.
Nice.
Which he's also in Nightmare Alley, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Ah,
Is he also a monster in it?
No,
Oh,
he just plays a contortionist in the carnival. Number 4.
My 4 is a test pattern.
The sound actually sounds familiar, but I've not seen it.
yeah. I'm drawing a blank on that one.
same.
Yeah,
same.
I think we were supposed to have them on the show, but it didn't
Oh,
work out.
okay.
But it's a great film. I recommend it.
I'll have to check this out. Yeah.
Okay. Another one to write down. Okay. All right. Number 4. My number 4 was the new version of Candyman, which I really, really enjoyed a lot more than I thought it would.
I agree. We went to see it with our mom, which is very
Yep.
fun.
Yeah, and she loved it too, so that was
Yeah,
good.
she's a huge fan of the original.
Yep.
Justin, you're number 4.
My number 4 is Censor, which is a movie that takes place during the early 80s about a woman who works for the British Board of Film Censors during the era of the video nasties and discovers a particular video nasty that features a woman that looks like her sister who went missing years ago. And so she goes on this crazy hunt to find this actress to basically also help her parents get over the grief of losing her sister when she was a child. And no, I love anything to do with the video nasties, so I was on board when I heard the plot of this movie. Hell, the video nasties are some of my favorite movies, you know, whether it's the Lucio Fulci stuff, Evil Dead, Anthropophagus, any of that stuff. I go nuts for the video nasty movies.
Very good. It may even be on my list higher. Number 4 is Troy's number 4 is Candyman.
Nice.
And I really enjoyed this. I think the first 3/4 or 75, well, that is 3/4, is great. I
Yeah.
think the final act is kind of rushed, and I'm not really into I don't want to give away the movie. I didn't really like how they made the new guy into the Candyman. I didn't think that really made a lot of sense and seemed kind of shoehorned in. I like the very ending. But the first 3/4 I was great, and I still highly recommend.
I'm with you, Neil. Like it might have been my number 1 had the
I agree.
whole movie been like the first like 80% or something. Yeah.
All right, into the bottom 3.
My 3
Top 3,
is Saint Maud. So I'm sure that's on.
This is one I have seen.
Yeah. I figured you guys had seen it. I really love that film.
Great ending.
Yep.
Very dark movie, and not a feel-good movie,
No.
unless you're a bizarre person, I guess. Number 3 for Troy.
My number 3 is A Quiet Place 2, which is another one of those on movie that I liked a ton more than I thought I would going into it, and like thought it was great. Just loved everything about it.
We saw it. Yeah, we saw it together.
Yep.
All right, number 3 for Justin.
My number 3 goes back to my number 9 son in movies that are very similar on my list. Antlers.
Listed it twice.
Okay.
No, just very similar movies. Antlers, which has to do with the Wendigo, and the Wendigo attacks this father and his son, and the oldest of the children is the one that ends up having to basically take care of his father and brother, who are infected with the Wendigo and basically are turning into the Wendigo. And he also has to go find dead bodies to feed to his brother and son, hence the connection to son. And while also going to school and trying to act like everything's all good. And Kerry Russell plays a teacher that starts to kind of notice odd things about him coming to school. And no, it was a great movie that did not disappoint and was well worth the very expensive rental price of $14.99.
Oh wow! Yeah, I saw it at the theater. Yeah. Halloween weekend. Number 3 is one that you just had at number 4 is Censor. When I first saw it, I thought it'd be my favorite movie of the year because I thought it was just great, and I still think it's great. But 2 movies beat it out later on. But Yeah, Sensor's awesome. Everything Justin said's right on. And there's a lot of cool stuff about the movie. I think if you're a movie buff, you're going to like the movie even more. They play around with the aspect ratio. It changes throughout the movie.
Great.
Yeah, I always like the idea of if something's reality or if it's not, or if you make something, that's fake into reality, if you believe it enough, or is it just mental illness? A lot of stuff going on. Great movie.
And I'm going to have to watch that one.
Number 2.
My 2 is Candyman. I love
Nice.
it.
Excellent. If our mom was here, I think she told me what her number 1 would be, but Candyman was number 2 for her.
Okay.
So she was right with Trista.
So my number 2, don't think it was theatrically released. Caught it on Netflix. It's Kingdom Ashen of the North. And it's the prequel to the series Kingdom, which is a great Korean zombie series. It's set hundreds of years ago. And this one kind of gives you the backstory. And I just thought it was so well done, and the casting was perfect. I really wouldn't change a thing about it. Like, just loved it. If you've seen the Kingdom series, then check this one out as like the starting point. And if you haven't, then go watch the Kingdom series because I love them.
I will do that. Number 2.
My number 2 is Troy's number 3, Quiet Place Part 2.
Nice.
Yeah. No, that's one of several movies that I wanted to see in 2020 that did not get to see in 2020. And it was maybe the second movie I saw in theaters in 2021. And
it might have been our second too.
Yeah, I think so.
I loved it. I went to see it in theaters with a buddy, and the night before I had to go to work, which was interesting. But it was well worth staying up later than I should have to watch that movie, and also having a drink while watching the movie was also great. So it was a good time.
Did you have to sneak in a drink, or was this like part of the theater experience? All right.
Oh, it was part of the theater. So it was.
Right.
I used to do that, smuggling booze. Not anymore. Now I smuggle in
apples and things.
Yeah, actually, I do that. You're right.
Head of cabbage and apple.
Number 2 for me is Last Night in Soho by Edgar Wright.
Nice.
This was great. Kind of an old school ghost story. Very stylized. Just thought it was a great movie. A lot of great performances, and I like a movie that has good young actors. Also has some really great veteran actors in it. I think it was Diana Rigg's final movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
A lot of nice twists in the movie. Who's the villain, who isn't. It's great. I highly recommend it. Number 1.
Bum, bum, bum.
My 1 is the Boris Karloff doc, The Man Behind the Monster.
Oh,
Nice.
So that's on Shudder. I recommend it.
I need to look for that.
Yeah, I do too. I have some Boris Karloff here, including a new one here that I got for Christmas.
Oh, that's a nice.
Yeah, I like that one.
What a good friend you have.
Yeah,
Neal.
very nice. Very cool. Thank you very much. Number 1 for Troy.
All right, my number 1 isn't a movie at all, but a series, and it was the best horror thing I've seen all year.
I know. I will agree with that. Actually,
It was just fantastic from beginning to end. Was Midnight Mass on Netflix.
It's awesome.
Just incredible. If you haven't seen it, there is no excuse. Watch it.
I agree.
Just fantastic.
Yeah, it really is like an 8-hour, movie basically.
Yeah.
My excuse is I don't have Netflix, so.
Oh, all right.
I don't know. Do they release that kind of stuff on DVD? I don't know.
Sometimes they do, because they did with the Netflix Marvel ones, like Daredevil and stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But yeah, I agree.
Well.
I just wrote it on my honorable list since it wasn't really a movie, but yeah, I loved it. I know some people were said it's too talky, but I don't know. I like.
Wow.
I don't know. It's weird. Like I just want murder. I guess.
Screw this here talky stuff. I don't know. I don't want none of it.
This is kind of how I feel, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, kitty.
As everyone notices, that was my Trista impression, which I sometimes bring up.
Was that on?
It's very good.
Number one, Justin.
My number one is your number two, Last Night in Soho.
Nice.
And this is a movie I saw twice in theaters. In fact, my first time seeing it was on Halloween night at the New Beverly Cinema.
The night before Halloween, actually.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I went to see it on Halloween night, dressed as the Crow at the New Beverly Cinema, which was a very worthwhile experience getting to see the movie on film on its opening weekend. It was great. I loved the music and
that's another thing I'd mention. Yeah, great music.
Great music. It's Edgar Wright, so great editing. Lots of twists and turns. Great star turn from the lead actress as well. I
wasn't familiar with her either. The one in reality.
Yeah, no, I'm sad I'm blanking on the name because, but no, her and Anya Taylor-Joy really killed it in the movie. They were both fantastic, all around, just fantastic movie.
I agree 100%. Yeah, it was great. And we flip flopped our 1 and 2 because the number 2 is My Night in Soho. My number 1 is Antlers.
Oh, nice.
Oh man, I love Antlers. Is just a fantastic movie. Very dark. Definitely the best movie I've ever seen about the Wendigo. Wendigo's brought up in a lot of stuff, and I don't think they ever do it very well. But definitely, it's a great story in Antlers. And it's really about like the decay of the community and society. And there's a lot more to the movie than just a monster movie, and it works also as a monster movie. But
definitely,
there's a lot in the movie.
I waited too long to pull the trigger and it was gone before I got to see this one.
Yeah, it's very. I think it's one of the most emotional movies I saw the year too. But yeah, great and great child actors in the movie, which sometimes is hard to get great child performances. But both the kids, especially the main one, and the monsters. When you see the monster and it has, not to give it away, but it has the little bit, the remnants of the human like mask. Perfect. Very creepy. All right. That was our 13, folks.
That was great.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
Great list.
You guys have got a bunch of movies for me to check out now. That's even better.
Now, before we go to honorable mentions, I know Trista might have something to do. Do you have to take off, or do you have any want to throw any honorable mentions out there?
No, I can do honorable mentions.
All right, very cool. Do you have any? You're very welcome.
I do, yeah. I had I really liked Lamb, except for the animal parts were too hard for me to watch. So that's the only reason I didn't make the list. But I thought the acting was great, and I think it's a really interesting story. I'm just sensitive to a lot of the animal stuff. Yeah. But so I guess that would be an honorable mention.
Yeah, some of the animal stuff was real. Like, not like violence, but like, like seeing the lamb birth and stuff. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
A really good ending of the movie.
Yeah, I like the message of the film, and I love the acting and everything.
Troy, do you have any honorable mentions?
I think all the ones have been brought up already. The only one was Bloodthirsty, which if you're looking for like a goofy vampire movie, it's pretty good. It's not great, but it's worth watching.
Yeah, and the people made it very nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Justin?
I don't have an honorable mention so much as what I do have is a movie that I enjoyed quite a bit in theaters that I know was this was another polarizing one for a different way than Malignant. It was Halloween Kills, because it is a bad movie. Oh, granted that it has a bad script.
Horror dies tonight.
It has a lot wrong with it story-wise, character-wise, but honestly, it does deliver on the title.
It definitely does do that.
And even with the bad elements, I was still able to enjoy it. And given
I
that
enjoyed it more than the one before it. So.
yes, and having seen every movie in the Halloween franchise, including the Rob Zombie ones, and seeing how much worse those movies can get, I can't look at Halloween Kills and hate it as a result, because I'm just like, I've seen the worst, so this is not that bad.
Really interesting, because I kind of agree it's a really bad movie, but it's also I didn't like walk out of it. If you just that's a movie if you like if you're Tristan just want to see murder, then
I mean, I gotta say this, it's minor tangent. When I went to see The Matrix Resurrections, I hated that movie so much that I went to the bathroom a total of 3 times during that movie. When I went to see Halloween Kills, there were numerous trailers. As soon as I got there, it's another movie where I went and had some beer because they were selling it at the theater, as did everybody else in the theater. It was a booze-filled theater.
Everyone was. That's why you liked it. Everyone was just drunk.
Yeah, and so, but I had to go to the bathroom during most of the movie, and yet there was no point where I decided to get up and go use the bathroom. I actually sat down the whole movie and watched the movie.
This is very personal, Justin.
So it says a lot.
Eat his pants twice during
That's why
this
you got
movie,
to bring the Gatorade bottle like
That's it.
That's very true. But that says a lot about Halloween Kills in comparison to Matrix Resurrections.
How many pee breaks? Yeah, I went into. I'm not actually a big fan of Matrix movies, but I went into Matrix, whatever. I just because I basically see every movie in the world, and everyone is saying it was awful. I actually was surprised. I liked like the first half hour of it. then it just became pretty much like what I thought it would be. No, and even the fight. Like I'm not a big fan of the Matrix movies to begin with. So, but yeah, it's not particularly good. But I actually do like the meta stuff in the first half hour of the Matrix Resurrections when they're talking about like how they're forced to make the game, and it's very referential, like that they're forced to make this movie with or without them. And I got a kick out of that stuff. But then after you get away from that, it's just retread of the Matrix movies.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
a lot of bending.
Only only done a lot cheaper.
No,
even though it cost like a bazillion dollars, but it looks cheap.
Sadly.
Yeah, it's real quick. I actually have a bunch of them. I won't go over them. Well, When I Consume You, it's really good. Very low budget movie. I saw at the festivals. I really liked. Puppet Killer, we mentioned. Fear Street 94. A lot of people really loved it. I thought it was enjoyable. I wasn't that crazy about it, but I still liked it. I Need You Dead. Really weird movie. I liked Nightmare Alley. I don't really consider a horror movie, but that's an excellent movie. And Wolf is another one that I'm not sure I would call it a horror movie, but I thought it was one of the best performances I saw years in Wolf. It's a really interesting movie.
It looks like a cool movie. I haven't seen it yet either.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Oh, and Bad Candy is a fun horror anthology. All right.
Right on.
I'm going to go check out Benedetta.
Yes.
I also have to look into that.
I have a feeling you guys will enjoy it. Let me know.
All right, very cool. This is very fun.
Yes,
Thanks
it was a
everybody
great time.
for tuning in. Good to see everybody again.
Good to see y'all as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Year.
And thanks for showing up, because I can't share anything because I've been banned for 30 days, but I've got 9 days left, and then I'll be back on social media.
Oh no.
And NL Jones, that's just some other guy helping out with the show. The Nigel Leroy Jones. Thanks for helping out.
Which,
All right, I like them.
Did you
It
get
can't be me, or else you'd be banned too.
Yep.
Against
Nigel from the UK.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Now you're go on, Justin.
Oh no, I was gonna say, did you get restricted possibly for just gory content and stuff? Because I got restricted.
No,
for
I said serious threat of death or violence, because I was joking with my friend Robert Budzinski of 20 years. I've known him before we even started the show, and we always go back and forth, just foolishness. And I said, I'm gonna whoop your ass, Budzinski. Boom. Comes up. This is a serious threat of death or violence. You've been banned for 30 days. I tried to fight it. They're like, we reviewed this. No, it's a serious threat. I was like, oh my lord.
The only time I ever
30
had one
days, and they
was
banned
a
all my
picture
accounts.
of the dogs, and I guess too much like Shiba Inu junk, and they were like, "Oh, this is pornographic. You can't be showing this." Like, okay,
That to me that speaks more to whoever thinks that, because
Yeah,
that
that's
means
true.
they're into the dog.
the
dump.
doggy ankles. Yeah,
Oh,
like, that was
God.
bizarre to me, but
So, yeah.
it happens.
All right.
I got restricted for 30 days because of an image I posted from this movie.
Oh,
Of a-
really?
Oh,
From Suspiria of the hanging woman that I posted several times over the 10 plus years I've been on Facebook. And now all of a sudden they read it as, oh, you're endorsing suicide. We're going to
There you
restrict
go.
you for 30 days. It's like, no, I'm not.
Oh. Yeah. Well, that's a message. We do not endorse
We do not
anything.
whatsoever.
Yeah, we don't endorse anything at all.
except for
Doesn't matter what
Benedetta.
it is. Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye,
night.
guys.
Good night,
Thank
folks.
you.
Laters.
See you guys. See you, Neal.
Bye. I'm trying to hang up. But
y'all.